those of you that would like to take a break from the presidential debates, we'll be doing cards on love and relationships. Oh my God, watching that was giving me anxiety. Who was watching the presidential debates right now? Not the debates, excuse me. The debate. What am I talking about? Really, Sarah, get it together. Who's on? What's up, Raquel? Give me some hearts, guys. What's up, Christy? What's up, Kylie? It's Tuesday. What the fuck? Exactly. And we're going to jam on, we're going to do oracle cards for love and relationships. We're going to keep it fun. We're going to keep it spicy because, yeah, the debates have me cracking up too. Exactly. I was like, who needs a soul circle break from the debates? So we'll see who's hanging on to the debates and who's jumping on the soul circle this evening. Oh, yes, hearts. But other than that, it's been a fabulous day. Fabulous today. I've had amazing client session calls today. We got some lovely badass ladies involved in Launch to Lead, my business accelerator program. I'm so excited. So lots of fun stuff is happening right now. Lots of fun stuff. Where's the card, Sarah? And then I was like, oh, wow. When are the debates? Oh, they're like right now. And I hate politics. Really? No, thank you. Sometimes. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. I don't know if YouTube is going to kick me off for using this song, but I love this song. It makes me so happy. Okay, so we will do, you had a nourishing Atlantean healing meditation. Yes, girl. Feeling bliss the F out. Yes, that sounds amazing. And who's excited for Libra season? Everything's about balance. I'm excited because it's my birthday season. So tonight we're going to do Golden Path because we need to figure the F out on that. Give me some hearts if everybody wants to know what's going down with the Golden Path. What is going to be the Golden Path? What's going to be on the Golden Path? And in light of that, I thought I might break out a couple from the Enchanted Map at the same time. Sound good? Woo! Libra stellum, girl, right here. 4-planet stellum, 4 or 5, something like that. I don't know. I don't even know. So yes, all about balance. I'm very, very, very excited about all of the balance. Hang on. Okay, cool. Thank you. Who is that? Petite Biscuit, Sunset Lover. Let's go, boo. Sunset Lover. Come on now. All right, give me some hearts so you can see me. And if you guys have questions, I don't know, I had a thought. How do you guys feel? Do you like, I just kind of want to know from you guys, like as we're doing cards and stuff like that, do you want me to do specific cards for your individual questions, or do we like the universal ones? Give me some comments in there and let me know as we shuffle. Maybe it's both. What's up, Cootie? What's up, Katie? Hi, love. That was like half a high lady and a half a high love. Lo, what's up? Oh my gosh. Let's see. Yeah, you guys can see me, right? We're good. The internet is holding it down, although Instagram was jacked today. I don't know what was going down. I don't know if they're keeping Instagram on lock today because of like the debates. I don't know, but like there was some crazy, just Instagram was like not on point today. What's up, Sammy? Holla. Okay, good. So you guys can hear me and see me. Okay, great. And YouTube, we're good. Can we pick both? That's such a I feel like that's such a Libra thing. Can I have both though? But like I want both. Right? Libra's like, I want this and I want that. I am a believer in being in an and mentality, not an or mentality. I think that we should definitely be able to have everything that we want. Can I get some hearts on that? Hey, what's up, Sarah Ford? So yes, why don't we do that? So here's how we'll play this. I will shuffle universally for everybody. Okay, so right now I'm shuffling. If you guys just jumped on, right now I'm shuffling the Enchanted Map. because I feel like we need a little bit of a map, especially for the next month and a half-ish, possibly 2 months, as we all go through this process. I feel like society is adulting. Like, I feel like that's what's happening. I feel like there's been so much childish behavior showing up that now we're like adulting. And so maybe that's needed. Okay. Like, it's kind of like watching the debates. I felt like I was watching two little kids just, man. Enchanted map. Whoa. Yes. Okay. So here's how we'll do this. I'll do a couple universally for like love, relationships, spiritual awareness, You guys know the drill. I'll also be shuffling from coat. We like it when that happens. I'll also be shuffling from the Golden Path. We shall do Carlos, hello. Andrea, hello. Malak Matthew, I think, hello. So I will do some universal and I will do some cards specifically for your individual questions. So if you have questions on spiritual awareness or love and relationships, then write them in. What's up, Leanna? Hi, baby. Okay, so these are shuffled. This is the enchanted map. We'll do, how about we do 3 universal. If you guys got personal questions, write them in. Okay. What's up, Crystal? What's up? Okay. So now, yes, these are the Golden Path ones. Yeah. Give me those hearts. And how are you guys all doing? Give me a little check-in. Give me some comments on how you guys are feeling right now. Okay. Honestly, like, I felt like the energy, it's like it spikes and gets really intense and then it'll like dip down and kind of like relax. And I don't know if that's like a calm before the storm, and then it like dips up again or like skyrockets up again. And so it feels like a little bit like a roller coaster. Does anybody else on that one? Maybe it's just because I'm doing 1,000 things right now, but every time I do a client session, it's just like, whoa. Good evening, Icy Doll. Where are you, babe? Okay, so again, if you're just joining on, I will do individual cards for individual questions, and we will do collective. Last night sucked bad. Okay, who also is not sleeping so well? I was like really not sleeping so well. And it's full moon energy. Is it full moon tonight? Do we know? Normally I'm like super on that. So like, great. You're feeling great. Awesome. The full moon energy is, we have to remember, that's like when everything comes to like max. So whatever you started, whatever energy you started with 2 weeks ago is like now coming into and it's like filling up the cup. Okay. We've got a question too. Hold up, babe. I'm going to pull some for, I don't know why I want both of these. Okay, cool. Oh, husband, communication, married 8 years. Now, do you expand your community? Hang on. Let me pull some stuff for the collective. This is all of us. Okay, let me see, babe. Specific question. So a little bit more specific than like, what do I need to work on for your spiritual path? If you had like a specific question, I'm just totally feeling in the mood to like find out what your guys' like specific questions are. And I'll pull some cards for you on that. Full moon is tomorrow. Thank you, Sarah. You on it, girl. Okay. So this is for you. My husband and I are married 8 years. How do you expand your communication pathways about new growth without one upping? How do you expand your communication pathways about new growth without one upping? If I understand the question correctly about like the one upping, is that kind of like feeling like without one is like better than the other or further ahead than the other, or trying to like, yeah, like one up? Is that kind of Is that what I'm getting on that? So basically your question is around communication. Am I getting that? Okay. So my love. Oh, I sort of feel like, yeah, no, okay, we're good. So for you, we'll do one of each. Where's my jam? Oh, girly. What is this? Interesting. Okay, that's really funny. Because details, clarity. Details, clarity, okay? And good fortune. So you got both of those. So with communication, without one-upping, it can be done really well if you both hold a neutral space. Okay, so you'll still have really good fortune doing this. I think both of you guys probably want that, but you totally got the details and clarity. And it's literally like, I don't know if you can see this. So it says details, and then inside the magnifying glass, it says upside down, clarity, important notes. So what that tells me is spend the time to be specific on details. Everybody has different words that we associate meaning to. So you might say one word and it means something to you. They might have another word that means something completely to them. So details on what, like when you're communicating, what definitions and what filters you need to pay attention to. So the definitions are like the words and what things mean to you. The filters is we all have listening styles. We all have these like filters of what we hear based on past experiences. So when we're communicating, in order to have conscious communication, it's almost like you need to jump out of your mind and jump out of your story about what you have been through, what you would think the other whatever you think you want the person to hear from you. You have to almost jump out of your space, jump into theirs, and as if you could hear from their perspective, and then do the same thing, like hoping that then they would do the same thing with you. So I think you'll have really great fortune with that because you got the good fortune card. But clarity and details, girl, like mad clarity, details. So there's something that like you guys aren't truly hearing each other because it's getting lost in either the filters or those like the definitions of things. So spend extra time. Even ask the question like, okay, you said that, like, and then repeat it back. That's another good one. So repeat things back and be like, this is what I heard. Is that what you meant? That's a really, really great way for like in conscious communication. Repeat back exactly what they said or what you heard, and then say, is that what you meant? And then let them clarify and let them do the same thing for you, right? So details, clarity, clarity, clarity. That should go for everybody. Great question. Okay. Yes. But like you guys have been jamming for 8 years. Like, and especially if you're holding it down during this situation, like congrats. Okay. There has been conversations that I have heard and been talking about with people who have been in relationships way longer, and they're like tapping out. So that tells me that either they weren't as committed in the first place, or certain things may be coming to the surface that weren't fully authentic. And so everything has a reason, you know, different relationships break up for many different reasons. But like if you're 8 years and you're holding it down strong, like you guys care so much about each other and you want to keep that connection, and you're committed to not just the relationship, but you're committed to clarity. So good fortune, babe. You're good. You're good. Okay, so if you want the question on what you need to work on for your spiritual path, just put in a little bit more clarity on that. Like, where exactly are you at? So my internet and IG is being wonky, doing your best to be on here. Kylie, I love that you're on here. Honestly, Instagram has been wonky all freaking day. I have been trying to comment on people's photos and heart and all of that stuff, and like engagement's been low. I blame it on politics. Because that's going down today and who knows what's happening. So, you know, it's happening. So if you want to, jump on YouTube, babe. We're still streaming on YouTube. So I see, hello, Colleen. We got a couple on here. I don't know. The energy also feels a little bit like cocooning in, like recoiling in a little bit. It's not feeling so like out there. For me, I'll stay. For me. What chakra do I need to heal, and which ones are striving? Striving? Which chakra do you need to heal? Do you want a card for that one, or you want me just to be intuitive on that one? Because if you got to ask that question, I would say the first one is third eye. And I'll just say as a general, the first chakra that we usually shut down is our heart, and then it shuts down our third eye. So it's usually the first one, because this goes into like self-protection mode, right? And we have all these different things that happen in our life and our experiences. And so our heart, we usually put, you too? Okay. We usually put like these blocks up, and then that closes the energy, and then we can't see clearly, right? And then we can't translate. We can't like the translator of the information coming into your third eye is your heart. That's how it gets translated. We're going super woo today. We're going super woo. Are the aliens here yet? I feel like they should be. I'm waiting. Okay. No fake alien invasions. Like, let's go straight. Let's be real. What's up, everybody that just joined? Okay, cool. So I can do the collective unless, like I said, I am doing, I don't know. I just totally felt like I was in the mood to do personal cards for personal questions. So if you guys got, then that's what we're jamming out on. Other than that, give me some hearts if you guys want to know what this week is going to be like. We've got the presidential, I almost said elections. It's not the elections. Debates, excuse me, the debates. So we've got some children talking, streaming live. Shouldn't say it that way. Jesus, Sarah, that sounds so judgmental. So judgmental. Well, you know, it is what it is. I keep kicking the fucking camera. Rosie's like, fucking politics? Really? We all need to see through that bullshit. Wicked migraines lately. Okay, interesting. I have a little bit of a headache today too, but I usually get headaches around the full moon. That's just how my energy likes to deal with full moon energy. And there's a lot going on right now. So there's a lot of frequencies in the field, like a lot of frequencies in the field. Some of them potentially man-made. I'll just say that. Okay. Can't sleep. No, me neither. Not so much. Okay. So where are we at? Let's do first some golden path. Okay. Prosperity and freedom, timeless earth, power, inner conflict. Ooh. Okay. Wow. Give me some. You guys can still see me, yeah? Okay. Yeah, Rosie. I haven't done a full session where it's like all Rosie doing the cards. Doing the cowards. Cowards. I can't even. Okay. So prosperity and freedom. Hold the phone. Can you have a card for doing cards? What do you mean by that, babe? Yes, hearts. Thank you, love. Like, clarify the question, please. Okay, so prosperity and freedom, timeless earth, power, inner conflict. I feel like that's so appropriate for like what at least it feels like going on collectively. Yes, with the election, like yes, with like all of this stuff. It's just like, one, we have to focus on our alignment of what we feel prosperous in. So prosperity and freedom. And yes, there's the whole political conversation. You guys know, like I do not make my page political at all. We don't talk about all of that stuff because everybody has their own different perspective. And there is a push-pull. Talk about for freedom and like that inner conflict. There's a serious push-pull. But the fact that we got the power card, like it's all a power struggle. So where are we in a power struggle within ourselves? that is taking away our freedom. Because if we're going to keep running, like we're so in a beautiful place to release like dogmatic beliefs, old, outdated ways of being that have kept us looping in society, in culture, in like relationships. Like all of that is coming to the surface right now, like the prosperity and freedom. It's like, if that's where we're really focused on, if we're 100% like, okay, what is prosperity and what is true freedom? True freedom is not a place. It's not somewhere that you go. Like so many, I feel like I talk to so many people want freedom in relationships, right? You don't go somewhere for freedom. You don't be in a relationship or not in a relationship and either have freedom or not freedom, whether you're in a relationship or not. That's not exactly how it works. Freedom is a state of being that you get to embody, whether you're in a relationship, not in a relationship. It's a perspective. It's an awareness. It's a state of consciousness. So prosperity and freedom, finding what that alignment is. Give me some hearts if this is resonating for you. What's up, everybody who just joined on? We're doing cards, basically. I said yes for love and relationship. We're doing a little bit because it's the presidential debates right now. And so it's kind of like this week and what's going down. So prosperity and inner freedom. What is your alignment for that? What does that feel like? What does that look like? What is it as a state of being and a behavior, not a destination, not a mask or not mask? Okay. And you guys all hear me on that. That is the only time that I will ever mention that, because I keep saying this whole thing going down, like we're not going into politics, because your essence of freedom can never be taken from you if it's a state of being. It doesn't matter whether you are wearing a mask or not wearing a mask. That is the power play that's going on, and the right wrong game and all of those different things. And everybody wants to be right, because if we're not right, then what do we make that mean? Oh, I haven't said that in a while. What do we make it mean? What do we make it mean? If we're not right, or if we think that we're wrong and then somebody else is like, what do we make that mean? There's an internal dialogue around that, in which case, if you get wrapped up in your own internal dialogue about whatever it is that you're making that mean, you're not free. You don't have an inner state. You're not embodying the state and the beingness of freedom, in which case you're not embodying the state and awareness and beingness of prosperity. Yes? Give me some hearts if that resonates. Victim mentality. Yeah, it's definitely in alignment with that. It's 100% in alignment with victim mentality. I feel like... Like, are we done yet with the victim mentality? Like, for real? Because it keeps coming up. And the only reason why things come up is so that then we can heal them deeper, right? We know this. Like, those that are on the path of consciousness and greater awareness and awakening, the ones truly doing the work and living step by step, walking the fucking talk, talking the fucking walk, all of it every day. Yes, hearts, for real. Exactly. That's the name of that game, right? Full moon. What's up, Remy? I can never pronounce your handle. Is it just Raymond? Raymond? I want to be all like, weird dream lately too. Yeah, for real. For real. But I have also, like, because I have lucid dreams a lot. There's been a lot of really just like deep, like care energy in the dreams, right? Like you could say love for sure, but just like a genuine, like care for just person to person, just caring, like a deep caring energy. And so that tells me that that's being more focused on, especially, right? I don't really believe that us as humans, we really want to play like the right, wrong game and the victim game. I don't really believe that that's truly who we are. I really don't think that we want to play like the right, wrong, like bickering at each other and making each other wrong. I don't really believe that as humans, that's what we truly, that's not our deepest or highest essence, right? That's not prosperity and that's not freedom. That's not prosperity and that's not freedom. Okay, so what we have with that is timeless earth. So timeless earth to me means like, especially for right now, because we got it next to the power card and the inner conflict. So this is culture. This is society. This is like what that we're really focused on. If not us, then who? Like that sentiment. Who said that? Like, I need to go. I'll Google. It is up to us to shift our culture if we make up culture, right? Human beings, relationships, we make up culture. So the timeless earth is like, what are we creating our culture to be? What is that relationship dynamic going to be with each other? It's either going to be like victim programming and not seeing each other's point of view at all, or you're going to be able to jump out of your own bullshit and jump into somebody else's perspective and be like, wow, okay, I could see it from that. Got it. I can see it. We need to like getting more in touch with like the similarities versus the differences, right? But that's the inner conflict because we have been so, and power. So we have we lose our personal power. We lose our personal power if we're only in our own space and our own belief systems. We gain personal power. This sounds contradictory, but we gain personal power when we can jump into the perspective of another person. Why do you think that is? Why would we gain personal power if that meant getting out of our own bullshit, out of our own perspective, and jumping into the perspective of somebody else? How would that possibly give us personal power if technically it's making it about the other person? If technically we would have to see from the other person's point of view through their eyes, how would that possibly, I'd love if somebody's got a comment on that. How would that give us personal power? But our inner conflict and our beliefs and what society has taught us and what just dogmatic perspectives have kept us in this like enslavement, I'm going to use that word, in our own minds that only focus on our point of view and what's right. That's enslavement. That's where the inner conflict is now happening. I'm just reading and sharing. Okay. So I'll say, I believe, give some hearts if you resonate. The inner conflict is coming up because we're now getting tested on all of those fucking beliefs. All of society, cultural, familial, like religious, like all of it is getting challenged. And that's what's creating the inner conflict. Because if it comes from fear, if it comes from manipulation, if the belief was in any way created with manipulation or fear at its core, then that's got to go. But if it's so rooted in the psyche through generations, through the cellular memory of the fucking body, then that's going to create some major inner conflict. And for some who don't know how to just easily let that go and create something else, major inner conflict. And that's not going to be so fun. But then they don't get the prosperity of timeless earth if they can't move through the inner conflict. And I'm saying they as a collective. So I could say we, right? Because we are a collective. No matter what is happening with other people on some level, it's a macro to a micro, it's the above to below, like it's all happening together. So if we're like, that's what we mean by we're in this together, not because all of our experiences are the same, because everybody has different experiences, obviously. And it's the collective consciousness that is expanding to the timeless earth, to shifting our culture, to being able to see multiple different perspectives. Does that resonate? It is not that we are all having the same experience. It's that collectively we either expand the consciousness or we contract it or stay the same. That's it. Despite whatever individual personal experiences each individual has been through, it is the consciousness based on those experiences that either expands the collective or contracts or keeps it the same. Okay. I just meant like super quantum. Did that make sense? We're going a little quantum today. Woo. Did I drink enough water for this? I feel like. How to overcome a breakup. I can pull a card for that if you have a specific question, but other than that, get out of the story, whatever the story is. Let me scroll back up because I'm behind. Bella, hi, baby. You almost forgot it was Soul Circle. Girl, how dare you? Hashtag over the debate. Yeah, exactly. That's why I was like, who wants a break from the debate? Who's going to jump on right now and take a break from the debate? Because I was watching it. Okay, full transparent. I was totally watching it right before, and I was just like, I was watching it like this. That was my face. Oh my God. Oh my God. It's end game, man. It's end game. Okay, what does it mean to have such lucid dreams all the time? Literally almost every night. Katie, you and me too, girl. Yes, Raymond. That's right. Rainy is your nickname. Okay, I didn't know that, babe. Love that. I hope you're still on, babe. Let's see. Okay, so lucid dreams. Here's how I explain this. And then I'll do the cards for the collective that came from the Enchanted map, because we all could use a little bit of a map with the shit that's going down this week. Oh, God. Oh, God. Okay, so real quick, before that, pause. Lucid dreams. Here's how I'm going to explain this. One, I'm obsessed with the dream realm because I'm a total nerd for the subconscious, and the dream realm and the subconscious are like, that's where everything happens, right? So whenever you're experiencing a lucid dream, it can bring a couple things. It can bring messages or information, and when I say it, meaning like your consciousness, that you are tapped into the everything, right? And the experiences that you've gone through, you can get messages, you can get wisdom or things like that in your dream state. Usually it happens when you're in lucid, because that's in between, I'm pretty sure, somebody double check if I've got the science wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's between the alpha and the theta brain waves, pretty sure. It just means you're in like a deep, deep, deep state where you're like unconscious, but you're still like aware, right? God, there's so many technical details, and I will butcher the technical details on that. But basically, you are still asleep, right? So you're in a dream realm, but you're remembering it because your brain waves are closer to being awake. Okay, so does that kind of explain it a little bit more? Because we go through the different brainwaves from like deep sleep into then awake. When you're experiencing lucid, that's when you can kind of like talk to yourself or get messages, like I said, from your subconscious more easily. I am a believer only because I really kind of messed around a lot in like the dream realm and the sort of like my nerdy galactic astral projecting side of me that used to do that a lot. Still what happens every once in a while, but I used to do it very intentionally when I was 13, because that was my escape and I didn't know any better. And I was like, oh, what is these things going on with these different like brain? Why do I fall asleep and feel like deeper and deeper into myself? I didn't know that was getting to a state of meditation at 13. I don't know. I didn't have like Deepak wasn't around, you know what I mean? So, okay. That being said, I would test out different things and feel those different brain waves as I would slip into sleep realm, right? Dream realm. And I would experience different things, having more out of body experiences and having astral projecting experiences. And so many different adventures can happen in that realm. So sometimes you can get like, I'll say what it is for me. So not everybody's like this. Like I will get some like future-based visions in a lucid dream. Full transparency that I don't think I've said publicly at all. I kind of brought it up to my girlfriend because I really had no reason to talk about it. But the orange sky that if you guys watched, I saw a picture of Oregon. And when all the fires were going up in flames over there, and it was like this orange sky, and there was this picture, it was like this orange sky and this taller building, and everything was ash black. And like, and the trees were completely torched and the sky was orange. I had that dream when I was 16. And I remembered it ever since, because I was like, I don't like in my, like, I didn't know how. I was like, how would a sky be orange? Like, so for all these years, like literally, I either never thought about it or never had to think about it, or just like, that's just not like, why would I need to know that information? And so I never researched that information, but I saw the whole thing. And I remember the message that I was telling myself at that exact time. And then literally I saw a picture. I was scrolling through and saw a picture, and it was the exact image from my dream when I was 16, and I got chills and like all the blood drained from my face. So that was a moment. So I say that to say, in lucid dreams, you can have visions of the future. You can have beings come and speak to you. You can have many different fun things happen. Give me some hearts if that resonates. So that was my little story time. I shared it with my girlfriend, the other day. And yeah, it was very, very interesting. Which coincidentally, I was doing my astrocartography with a girl, and she was pointing out some very interesting alignment lines for me and my chart in Portland, Oregon. So that all happened like within like a 5-day period. It was super bizarre. So there's that. I'm still processing that, but thought I'd share. So lucid dreams can be super fun. All right. Let me see. Where are we at? What's up, everybody who just joined on? Yay, Rainy, you're still here. Okay. You always have tried to lucid dream, but you've never been able to. Ask your consciousness, like before you go to bed, be like, all right, like get yourself into like a nice relaxed state. It doesn't have to be like a super deep like meditation or anything like that, but just get yourself into like a super deep state. And then as you're relaxed in that state, be like, okay, I'm setting the intention. Like, I'd really like to remember my dreams. I'd really like to be able to, like, as I'm waking up. So do your best on a day that you don't set your alarm, because other noises that can kind of wake you abruptly can have all of that kind of get wiped, if that makes sense. Another thing that you can do, and this was just something that I was experimenting with when I was 13, is as you're falling asleep, track your breathing, track how you feel as you're like falling deeper and deeper and deeper asleep. Like, allow yourself to lie in bed and feel what it feels like. And then as you're like, be conscious of as you're technically falling deeper and deeper asleep. Like, I would do this thing where I would visualize or feel or sort of sense the energy in my mind that would, that was sort of like in the center of my mind. And then I would sense it kind of going back and down and back and down and back and down. And that would put me into more of like a relaxed back and down, more relaxed back and down sort of state. And I would track each phase of that, if that makes sense. Okay, what do we got? Do we have any questions, or do we want the cards, the rest of the cards? What's in store for October? So we did this week. I haven't pulled any exactly for October, but I can pull one specifically for October. Let me see if there's any other questions. I know. Is the debate still going on, or is it over? Is it over yet? Seeing this from all perspectives, being aligned, hearing it all. ABC, something coming up and with a place of love. Okay, I think I got that. You think you might have a wounded subconscious? Baby, I've been trying to reprogram and heal. I'm not laughing at you. I just love how you said that. That's so honest. Pretty sure we all might have a wounded subconscious if we haven't reprogrammed, right? And like, I mean, that's why I love teaching the reprogramming tools, because that was also stuff I needed. I was like, man, I got some stuff in here that needs to just like untweak itself, you know? And I wanted the best shit. So yes, I believe that's why I jokingly and yet lovingly say we're all funny, fucked up humans, because we all have these experiences and we didn't have the tools. Nobody taught us how to get through certain situations. And so we did the best that we could with no tools. I love how, right? The statement is we do the best that we can with the tools that we were given. But like when you were 5, like you had no tools. Okay. You had like a plastic bucket and like, you know, and you were just making sandcastles. Like you had no tools whatsoever. So as we grow older, nobody teaches us, right? Unless we seek it out intentionally. So we have these experiences that we go through, and then those programming in the subconscious could, yes, hold wounding in them, because we're operating, 95% of us are operating from our subconscious. Right? Or I should say our behavior is dictated by 95% of our subconscious, right? We have what we want consciously, and then we have what the wounded subconscious has, right? Which I love how you said wounded subconscious. So yes, I love that you know that. So you're in phase 1 of 4 of the conscious lifestyle method that I love teaching. You are in awareness. You might even be in acceptance. Right? But then there's the, okay, now how do you create a new healthy pathway? A new, like, how do you shift out of the old and then create a new healthy pathway? That's what having really easy, like practical, applicable tools to use every single day that are just like so easy that you can just have access to all the time. That's when that comes into play, because you're going to create a new neural pathway in the brain. You're going to create new cellular memory as you shift more into alignment and less out of alignment. Does that make sense? I helped you last week about not asking why boyfriend just broke up with me, but today it feels like a physical pain. Yes, and that definitely happened. Like breakups can feel like heart pain, can feel like a physical pain. They literally tell people take a Tylenol sometimes. Okay, so if you need to take a Tylenol, totally take a Tylenol or Advil, whatever you want. You're leaving our house soon. You've been in hotels, and it hurts to be cut off. There was no cheating or wrongdoing, just out of the blue. And that can happen. And that sucks. And I don't know how long you guys were together. So I don't know if it was like a love bombing situation. You know, some people get really, really addicted to just the love energy. And then that's not relationship. Addiction to love energy is not being in a relationship. That's being addicted to love energy. That's not relatingship. So depending on where you were in that phase, or where you guys were both in that phase, some people love staying in it as long as there's like love addiction, right? Which is not really healthy. It's actually can be considered a trauma response, I think. Just saying. Right? Because you're feeding that need, and you're getting like all of those chemicals going through your body, and you're like having this, you know, coming from a place of lack, and you're feeling really good about it, and everything's going great. But then there becomes potentially that like emotional codependency with it. And then all of a sudden, when that goes away and you get into the real relating, which doesn't have all of those chemicals, you can reenact, you can bring those in, because you have to keep like creating energy like that, but it's not as easy as it is in the beginning, right? You guys know what I'm talking about. So usually some people who just want the addiction or just coming to relationships out of a trauma response, once that like wears off and you hit sort of that first plateau, which is all the chemicals are gone, and now you're actually in a relationship, or the potential to get into a relationship, to choosing to be in a relationship, then usually people are out, because they didn't want a relationship. They were just a love junkie. Potentially. Not saying that's you. I would have to know a little bit more of the specifics on that, right? Completely addicted to love. Totally a trauma response. Mel, I love you. That was it. You had 2 men via dating apps be so over emotional to me out of nowhere. Complimentary. Where were you all my life? Yeah, all based in nothing about who I actually am. Mm-hmm. I have them nothing. What? I have them nothing to compliment me over. Wait. and makes me super guarded. Okay, because that might be a love bomber. That's like the person that comes in and is like, flowers you with compliments and like seems like the most amazing, like charming person. I'm generalizing, and I'm generalizing to the male gender. Okay, so are there love bombers that are women? Absolutely. Okay, but as a stereotype, as a generalization and stereotype, and specifically speaking to this instance, yes. The male gender can come in. Some will say, okay, because let's not put the everything. We gotta remember that's our conscious like reprogramming as well. Because we as humans, we like to generalize. That's one of the filters. Okay, so let's not make it the everybody. Let's say some come in and love bomb. And that's the ones that are like overly charming. But that can be out of a trauma response as well, right? Maybe they're a people pleaser. So they have to come in like overly charming, overly like, I'm going to do everything for you. I'm this amazing person, da, 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 get all the chemicals. And then when the real relating happens and it's like, bounce out. Katie, girl. You ladies are badass. Okay. Is that resonating? Give me some hearts if that is resonating. So some women can do that as well. Some women can be love addicts because that's a trauma response. The same thing. But like I love that you're on here and being open about that. I think we all can to a certain extent, but we have to remember that then that's not relating. That's not consciously relating. That's coming from trauma response, getting all wrapped up in the chemicals, and you know nothing about the person. But if we also have programs that we don't know how to see and trust ourselves, then we will think that other people are not seeing and trusting us. Because, right, that's the reflection. Like, that's just what happens. Thank you for being here. You're welcome. Yes, hearts. Okay. One ghosted. The other is still at it, and I've completely crawled into a hole. Girl, I've not actually met either of them. Okay. Here's the potential that might be happening in the online dating app world. Okay. And we all have that beautiful fantasy of meeting somebody in person. Okay. Like standing in like the cookie aisle of the health food store, but like they don't have Wi-Fi. So none of us can really sit there all day. You know what I mean? There's a little bit of here's what I think. There's a little bit of like a fantasy sort of element that gets created in the digital world that's different than meeting someone in person, right? Because when you're in person, now you're real. There's this like buffer of technology that can, on one hand, feel safe when we're first connecting, right? Because it's like, oh, okay, I can just text them. Like, all the energy isn't there. And so if somebody just sort of wants a little bit of that, but then they want to stay in that fantasy sort of realm, because the minute that you move out of that realm, then something becomes real. And if there's fears there, especially if those fears have not been processed through or healed, then naturally they would have a greater desire to stay in the digital fantasy realm rather than actually meet a real girl or a real boy, because I think some women do it too. I think some women just like sitting there swiping and they're like, ooh, no, ooh, no, ooh, but no. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what do you get from that? It's kind of like just flipping through a tabloid magazine a little bit, right? Okay, let's wrap this up with the final cards of the Enchanted Map. Oh, the full moon energy. Okay. I love all of you guys for jumping on today when I know there was like the debates. I was totally watching those before, but isn't it way more fun to talk about love and relationships than politics? Okay. So here's the deal for the Enchanted Map. Slow and steady. Dragon's Lair. And follow the leader. Okay, so I love how it's like follow the leader. And the first thing that I hear for slow and steady is like, don't get ahead of yourself. So meaning don't get, and this is like sort of collectively. So apply this to love and relationships, if you will, apply it to just sort of the general energy that's happening right now. But the sort of like slow and steady is don't be reactionary. Take a beat. Take a moment before you open your mouth, before you act. Like, it's better to take a breath and think about consciously what you want to do or say before just doing something like spontaneous and then potentially fucking it up and having to clean shit up, right? So, or causing a problem or whatever, right? So slow and steady, pay attention, bring consciousness to your actions, to your behaviors, to your thoughts, to your words, to how you are relating with people. Just keep it like slow and steady. Be when you're speeding down. I love that it's like a little snail, but she's also a butterfly. Okay, so we're in transformation. But the slow and steady, you get to see all perspectives. You get to witness things that are happening around you. If you're like fucking Speedy Gonzalez, you're going to miss shit. You're going to like cut corners. You're going to like not, you're just going to like, you're going to miss something. Like think about like literally like driving in a car. If you're speeding down, like you miss the scenery, but the scenery gives us information. The scenery tells us where we are. The scenery like gives us a perspective on like, have you guys ever been in a situation and you sort of used like a building as a marker? You know, like when you park your car, let's say, so you don't lose where you park your car. You're like, okay, what building? Like there's no street signs. So, okay, that building, it's like a brick building. I need to remember that. Okay. If you're like speeding like a bullet and you're not paying attention, then you don't have markers. You don't know where you are. You're not grounded. You're not paying attention. Doesn't mean that you have to be a snail, even though this is her as a butterfly and in transformation, but it does mean that allow the process to take place naturally. Don't force anything. Don't push anything. Don't push yourself. Just like ease it up. We're in the full moon too right now. So that is literally like gas pedal off and fucking coast. Coast. Easy does it. Steady wins the race. Speedy Gonzalez gets burnt the fuck out real fast. They miss shit. They're not as precise. You know what I mean? It's a little careless. We need to be taking things with care right now. Give me some hearts if that resonates. Ksenia, hi, baby. We still need to catch up, love. Okay, I've been in the middle of like doing this challenge and like just promoting Launch to Lead and all of that stuff. And so I have much more time by next week. I've been so laser focused, but I love you. Can we please do sometime? We are down to one. Nope, just this one card. Yes, super transportation. Like we'll get there, but just steady in the transformation. Do you guys, you know that analogy with the butterfly too? Like you can't force the butterfly out. If you try to help it or force it, it literally dies within seconds after coming out. It's got to find its way out and do it on its own, steady in its own time and in its own process. So there's some shit going down right now that is going to need its own time and its own process to like work through. So be okay with things taking the time. This whole like impatience thing that we all have because we live in a digital world mostly. So we need to like, doesn't mean you have to like go and be in nature all day. Maybe take a breath out there. Awesome. But like, because we live in such a like instant gratification, it's the same thing with dating. It's like, okay, I want it now. Okay, I want it now. Okay, I want the like the dopamine now. I want the like, you know, love addiction chemicals like now. Oh, it's not there anymore. Okay, next. I want it now. Instant response. So yes, we live in a way to connect and engage with each other immediately, and there has that benefit. So we're not knocking it. And yet at the same time, we have to remember, like, take your effing time with it. Don't get so wrapped up in the demands of how technology and society is, and that sort of fast-paced, what was the word that I used? This impatient, right? Like, oh, like I need it now. Like, look at that causes like so much tension. Just like chill the F out for a sec. Love interest. Oh, you're not talking about the card, you're talking about the love interest. You went down to just the one, girl. I'm so proud of you. Girl, get it. Okay, so the second one. Stephanie, hi, babe. Oh, my badass Sedona hairdresser who dyed my hair red for so many years. I love you so much. Where are you? I feel like I should take a trip out to Arizona. Okay, Dragon's Lair. I'm not mad at dragons, okay? Like, I know they get like a bad rap. I feel like so many different things like that get a bad rap because that's the story that we tell around them, okay? So what is a dragon's lair? And so this you get to answer for yourself as well. Like, what does a dragon's lair mean to you? Because look, there's cute little birdies on there. It is isolated, though. That is the other thing. It's isolated. So I'm not mad at the energy and the dragon. I think the dragon is very powerful. So I think there's a powerful energy that lives within all of us. I think that we got to watch who we burn when we get intense. Sometimes things come out the mouth and they burn. There's a lot of fire going on all over the world right now as well. So that sounds very coincidental at the same time. But the interesting thing about the dragon's lair is it's like very loner. It's completely isolated, right? And look, it's in this like cold, icy. So as much as it's fire, it lives in this complete like icy, isolated. It's icy and isolated. And so where are we being like icy and isolating ourselves? Like I get this like kind of attitude of like, you know, like that's just what it feels like there's no love there. If you're icy and you're isolated, you know, it's like, don't speak from an unhealed heart or surely you will breathe out fire and burn others around you. And that will leave you feeling icy and isolated. And so where can we collectively take that and apply? Like that's not love. That's not connection. That's not community. That's not coming together. That's like loner, you know, like that's the complete opposite. So we need to pay attention that this is sort of the energy that's happening right now as a result of certain behavior that is showing up. So let's just say it this way. Despite how awful things have been online, that I think everybody knows, despite how everybody's just been picking at each other and right, wrong, and just, right? Very dragon-esque. Let's just play with that for a second, that despite how that's been, do not let it freeze your heart. Do not let it make you icy and isolated and retract. Because now everybody has like the fear of saying anything because they're going to get bullied online, right? And that can have you retract and put up all your walls. And that is the very moment that teaches us to come from love. As cheesy as it fucking sounds, go stitch it on a t-shirt and a pillow and sleep with it every day. But I don't care. Call it whatever you want to that is not icy. Right? But when all of that happens, it's almost like, well, oh, that's the excuse to just be like, fuck everybody. And then walls up and then all this stuff. And I feel like that's kind of what everybody is doing right now. And yet that's the main opportunity in every relationship. When you have an argument together, that's the moment and the opportunity where you're supposed to actually get back into your heart and practice pulling the walls down, not letting that shit rise back up. Because what happens when you do? Icy and isolated. So we're icy and isolating ourselves when we do that. That's the moment that then, like, that's the moment that is teaching us to like, okay, are we going to step in to walls up and F you? Or are we going to say, nope, I am not going to let this opportunity or I'm not going to let this situation have me be icy and isolated. I'm going to use this as an opportunity to say, I will override the fucking program and not be dictated by what's happening in the world to whether my walls go up and over my heart or not. But I can look at the world and see anything and how anybody is acting and still be the sovereign self to come from the alignment of higher consciousness and joy and love, if that be your highest energy. Like, that's the moment. You either do it or you don't. You either fall prey and victim, if you will, to the program that is meant to keep you isolated and icy, or you override the program in that moment and have enough conscious awareness to choose again in that moment. That's everybody's job. You got a split second. You got less than 2.5 seconds to choose consciously. Icy and isolated and alone, walls up, and an FU, or highest alignment, staying in alignment, joy, love, all of those things. Okay, doesn't mean be a doormat. It's not what that means. You guys get that, right? That's not what that means. It just means in that moment, you get to choose how do you want to show up. And are you going to let situations dictate? And are you going to be responsive and reactionary to situations and have them dictate how you stay into alignment or not? You're going to let those situations pull you out of alignment? If you are, you're not sovereign in yourself. You're not a conscious creator of your reality. You are a reactor of your reality. Truth bomb. But you don't come here for me to sugarcoat the shit. And I don't serve anybody by sugarcoating anything, because I'm about you guys owning your power and being the conscious creator of your reality. But that means in 2.5 seconds, you get to choose. And what are you going to choose? And that's entirely up to you. But what you choose dictates culture, which dictates our society, which dictates our collective expansion. Just so you know. No pressure. Michelle, hi, love. I feel like everybody's like coming out of the woodworks today. What's up, babe? Are you still in Laguna? What do you mean? You didn't mean what? I missed it. I don't know what you didn't mean. I don't know what you didn't mean. But anyways, thank you, babe. Okay, so follow the leader. Here's the final card of the night. It doesn't mean that if you are a follower that you're not a leader. I believe that we need to set a new standard for leadership, and I believe that we need to be supporting each other as leaders to then be leading other leaders. Give me some hearts if that resonates. This is not follow the leader. This is leaders leading leaders. Woo, that comes from like way back in the day. We're pulling that out from years ago, leaders leading leaders, okay? Who here resonates with being a conscious leader? Who here feels in alignment with like setting a new standard? Like if that is you, whether you are a healer, whether that is like you want to help people reprogram their shit, like that's what I like. Quick little shout out. That's what my Launch to Lead program is about. I want the conscious leaders that are setting that new standard for the future. That's the level of game. That's like, where are we at? And what are we up to doing? That's not follow the leader. That's teach everybody to step into their level of leadership so that then the society and our culture can be more inclusive and less icy and isolated. Yes, raising hands. Yes, yes, yes. And everybody has their own gifts on how they would like to do that. But the intention has to come from your heart. The intention has to come from you being able to see something that is possible for the future, not necessarily having all the answers, but wanting to like be part of that collective to be moving that forward. Some people don't want to, and that's totally cool. There's nothing wrong with that. But there are a select hopefully more than a few, right? That see themselves as those conscious leaders that want to come from not ooey gooey, like love, like, oh my God, we're just seeing life through rose colored glasses and everything. Like we're just spiritually bypassing everything. And it's just all love, like not that bullshit. I mean, literally like walking the talk, being in full fucking alignment. And we just say love. Technically, we should start saying joy because that's a higher vibration than love on the frequency scale. Okay. So if that's too cheesy, because I feel like it's getting like outdated now. Everybody's like, just come from love. And it kind of makes it sound a little bit like it's getting like a little bit of a bad rap, kind of like dragons get a bad rap for being like negative. Like just come from love has got this like almost like don't take it serious. Do you guys resonate with that? Like don't take it seriously. Like cool. Then come from fucking joy. But wherever you come from, let's set a new standard for leadership. And in order to do that, we have to be more conscious and living a lifestyle of being more conscious, which means in any situation, choose how you want to respond, not react. It means reprogram those subconscious wounds and show up with your behavior, not just your words on what you want to say is possible. It's see the vision. Let's get it fucking created. I was given a vision. I was having many deeper lucid dreams after my whole near-death experience. And I saw this like intense vision on what is possible for all of society, collective, everything. It was just a vision and it was a feeling. And so everything that I do, whether it's helping people in their relating consciously, whether it's helping them building their businesses or just self-mastery, whatever it is, or just getting confident on camera, all of that stuff is the pretty package that at the root fucking core of it is this vision that I was shown of what's possible for our collective as we're all expanding and growing and reaching higher levels of leadership. And I don't know how to explain it other than it's a feeling and a vision of what I was shown. But everything stems from that. And the ones that I meet along the way and the ones that usually are attracted to working with me, they have that same feeling. And you can't quite put your finger on it, but you know it. And things out in the world, like, I don't even know how some of that would, like, how would we even make that happen? We don't know yet. You don't have to have all of the answers, but as long as you have that feeling, as long as that seed is planted within you of that vision of what's possible and you can feel it, then the more that you tap into that feeling, you are watering it. And the more that you become the energetic embodiment and the more that you will align with the people and the things and the support in order to create that to happen. Yeah, give me some hearts on that one. The force. May the force be with you, but it's like not force. Let the flow be with you. Actually, maybe it should be like a combination of both because that's very masculine and feminine, right? The masculine is the force and then the feminine is the flow. So can we have like, so Libra season, come on now. Can we have the like, let the force and flow be with you? I want both. I want to be in an and mentality, not an or mentality. Why's it got to be like force or flow? I want the force and the flow. All of it. I love you, babe, so much. Thank you all for tuning on during this crazy time that we were on. Great soul circle. Awesome. You're welcome. I appreciate that. The floors. Amazing. The floors. Let the force flow. Yes. No. Awesome. I love you guys. New hashtags. Force flow. Floor. Hashtag floors. I can't even say it. If we can't say it, but hopefully we can create it. Awesome. I love you, babe, so much because I know that those of you that have always been attracted to Soul Circle and continuing to just show up, like I know that seed is planted in you. And I love that. It makes my heart so happy. It makes my soul so happy. So I love you all. It's my soul's pleasure to be here and supporting you guys, whether it's through cards or messages or whatever. And those of you that I get to work with on a much deeper level, like, oh, that's just like a whole other game. That's so fulfilling. So I love you all so much. I will see you next Tuesday. Somebody like go watch the replay of the, or don't. But remember to choose in every moment, to not be reactionary, but to choose what you want. I love you guys. See you next week. Bye, YouTube.